This I figured out, at least, Mary. I figured out how to make our little circle. Look how cute in our little circle.
Yeah,
Of
you figure out how to do it, didn't you?
course, that I figured out. I figured out how to put. I'm using Mary's StreamYards today, guys, because I went 5 hours yesterday. I'm kind of low on hours on my free StreamYards. So I added mine to Mary's, played with it, but I don't have a lot of stuff yet.
Oh, you're fine. Hi, everybody.
But at least now they can see that you're there. Yeah, they're cute little circles. Hi, Kim. Hi, Regina. Hi, Kirian. Hi, James. Hi, Kelly. Hi, Scott. There we go. I got everybody.
All right. Hi, Scott. Hi, James. Let's see, Kelly. Hello to you.
Hello to
Hi,
me.
Kim. Hi,
And that's,
Karen. Hi, Regina.
oh, I love it. I love the little circles. It's adorable. How'd I get? Oh, I don't know what happened.
I did that by accident.
Oh, you did it.
I hit it.
That's okay. I forgot this is you and me, so we're both like hosts, so we can do whatever we want.
Right.
Hey, yes.
Hi, yes.
So I don't have to do all the work. But I'll have Mary say hello to you guys and talk a second so I can find my other little thing so I can set up the yeah, the background's cool. That's me. I put some ghosties, but that's me at one of the first explorations I did. You can't see the top of me, but I thought it was cool anyway to put as a background. So there you go. I gotta find the little thing that holds the phone, whatever the heck you call it, little tripod, so that I can play the thing.
All
So I
right.
can play it. Hi,
You mean to
Kathy.
hold your phone to some play video?
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, the
All
good
right.
Mary. So I'm gonna look for that. It should take me. It should be right around here
All
somewhere.
right. How is everybody today? Can y'all believe I'm actually here on time? Not fully awake, but I'm here on time. It's a miracle. Hi, Kathy.
But I did set it up for 45 minutes later. Now next week starts the night shift again, so we could go back to normal time. I just want to make sure that he can eat when he comes home. So that's why I have been going later, guys, because he started the day shift because somebody wanted to trade with him. So I said, okay, trade with them. It's better you come home early. And then the person who traded with him decided he didn't like it and was like, no, can you trade back? Change back. Regina, I'm sorry, honey. I will do I have a personal message for you and I think Diane. I didn't get to that today because I just had to finish doing my daughter's wedding stuff. And then I will do all that tomorrow. So or later tonight after my live stream. After the live stream and the crossover, then. So I apologize for my rudeness on that one. And I will look at your messengers. I'm sorry.
At least y'all know it's not major important. Not like you got to know right this minute. Even though you want to.
No, no, she messaged me something. I don't know
I'm
what it is. I didn't look
aggravating
at my message. But I
I'm
said
just,
I do
I'm just,
I do have a message too, like for them that was personal that I couldn't say out there. So I am gonna get to, I didn't want to think I forgot about that.
uh, I know,
All
I'm just nitpicking with you about having messages and not telling them yet.
no,
I'm
no, if
just
it was
teasing.
important, they would already talked my ears off, I'm sure of it.
Yeah.
They would have been yelling at me. Oh,
Yeah, you ain't got one for me, so I'm not complaining.
no, no, they're fed up with you, so they're not telling you nothing now.
I know
Until you do the stuff that they already asked you to do, they're not telling you
they're
nothing.
done with me. I know.
Unless it's something important, of course. But other than that,
Oh, I think that spirits They ain't talking to me a whole lot, so I guess maybe they are done with me.
Not done with you. They're waiting for you to do something before
I
they
know.
tell you anything else. They could tell you a whole bunch of crap, but it doesn't matter if you don't do it. So they're gonna wait to do at least one thing,
Well,
then they're gonna start bombarding you again.
what they want me to do, I haven't been able to do yet. And there's reasons behind it, and they know what they are.
Um,
So, that's all I can say.
well, you got that new apartment now. They're gonna expect you to get up and walk around and do things in your apartment. At least they're gonna expect that. And when you start doing that,
Yeah.
then they're gonna little by little give you more things to do.
So I take it you got that message loud and clear, Scott? Gotta move it, move it. I have
Yeah.
been moving it.
Um.
More than I was.
Yeah, more than she was, but she gotta move it a little more. And then and now it's cold. But as soon as it gets nice, Spirits and I are both gonna bother her to go sit on the front stairs, put her feet in the fucking grass in front of her house. We're gonna do all that. She's got to get regrounded and all that good stuff. So yeah, we're gonna yell at her. Hey, Joe, how are you? And it's not because it's because we love her, not
Oh,
for
I
any.
know. I know exactly what you're saying. Hi, Joe.
it's
And
because, it's because we love you, not for any other reason.
right. I'm glad you did, Scott. I hope I wasn't overbearing with it. I'll put you like that.
You mean her under construction? Yes. Yes, yes. Okay, I did manage to set this up, so
Her
we'll
under construction. That's one way of putting it there, Scott. That's the smart way to do it.
Don't worry, Mary. Mine gets into me to get out of my house on the weekends. Yes, James. Oh, I'm sure. Candace is like, hello, can we go out? Where's the park? What's going on? What are you doing? Get the hell up.
Yeah, I need to get out more. I will say that when it gets warm weather, I'm gonna try. It
Exactly. She's relentless. Yes.
it's the transportation, is the big issue, you guys.
But Mary, you got the
Yeah,
house now. So now they're expecting you have a little backyard, you have a little front yard.
I mean I
So
can go outside, yeah, but I'm saying out, like out and
no,
going
no.
and
They
doing
want
things.
you to walk around the yard in the
I
front.
don't know about walking around the yard, but I'll go out there in the yard, yeah.
Yeah. Well, you can
I
walk
may even put a
maybe
pool
with a
out in the backyard. I'm
walker
gonna
and
think about
or
that.
wheel around but they want you to. I think it's more grounding, and just for the fresh air and the difference to go out. You don't have to run a marathon or do any of that. They want you to go outside, your feet in the damn grass, you know, sit in the lounge chair in the backyard, whatever. You're gonna do that. That's
I'm
what you're
thinking
gonna
about
do, Mary.
putting a pool out back, so because I love to swim. That's
I would
that's
do
my
a hot
favorite
tub
thing
because
to
it would
do.
be better for your muscles, but that's just me.
Well,
Hi, Kirian.
if you're in a pool, it's easier on your joints and stuff. If you're overweight, or if you have issues, or if you have neuropathy, it's better on your body.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Carrie and Sweetie, today's Spiritual Thursday. So today we're gonna show a video in a second. Reading. Um, Wednesdays are readings. I might put in a second day of readings if I could get a different streaming platform that I can have extra time and it doesn't cost me too much. Then I may put in a second day of readings. But right now we're only doing readings Wednesday. Thursday is this Spiritual Thursday. Today we are going to talk about mysticism, what it is, how it's practiced. And I think this one's really good because I think this really hits home for a lot of us. Um, they used to call it a religion. Now, it's not a religion. Now it's morphed into something else. And um, but so it goes all the way back to BC. So it's a long-standing belief of a lot of people, and it's all around the world. It's not just one kind of culture who believes this. Um, so yeah, it went from ancient Greek to to India to Hinduism. Like a lot of people practice practice still mysticism. So hey Diane. So we
Hi, Diane.
will.
Scott, Martin knows what you're going to say before you say it. He knows you pretty well. Scott, you don't complain too much to me anyway. I mean, you just,
You
it's
had
not
to be abrupt
complaining.
with him about what?
Well, it's
Listen.
not complaining. He just is like, he's set in his, how do I put that? It has to do with his background and his, how he was raised and all that. That's why he's like that.
Yeah.
That he says stuff over and over, like, that
No, no, I don't think that's. Yeah, I don't think that's complaining either.
yeah, I don't think it's complaining at all.
Yeah, it's just talking. Complaining is if every 5 minutes you're like, I hate this, I hate that, this hurts, I don't want to do anything, I hate all of
Yeah,
it. That the government sucks. I don't have anybody. That's complaining every second. But you know,
right.
just making statements is not complaining. Did you start a GoFundMe, Kirian? Oh, I'm sorry, Kirian. You got to be like me. I got to start going through the channels too to get some financial help from government. So I have a lot of things to do this January because now, Mary,
Yeah.
back, my arm, I think I have like frozen shoulder and the pain is unbearable between my back and my arm. I just hit my head against the wall and knock myself out so I don't have any pain.
I
Like it's
I
really
think
bad.
from your shoulder to your arm. Is that what you said?
It's
From
no,
middle of
it's
your
it's
shoulders?
in my shoulder, whatever it is.
I think it's fibromyalgia.
No, I think it's frozen shoulder.
It could be, but is it go down both? Does
Or
it
I
radiate down both of them or just one?
no, just one.
And it's probably frozen shoulder, or it could be
I
frozen shoulder. Though you wouldn't be able to. Can you move it at all?
No, frozen shoulder you can move it, but you just can't move it up. Like I can't put it my hand up past a certain point. I can't
Right.
put it behind, like move it behind me a little. I can't move it out all the way. It's like that. At first, I thought maybe it was dislocated, but then I thought I would feel it. But then I read there's something like a partial displacement where it could have shifted a little and it's screwed up, and that could be. I don't know, but it hurts like hell. I went to take off my shirt. I was screaming. Thank God my son was at work.
Yeah. Either that or you believe it or not, you could have knocked it out of place.
Well, yeah, that partial dislocation. Yeah, that's what they were saying.
Yeah,
Not fully
and if
because I
that's
feel it,
and with
like
that, go knock it up against the wall and knock it back into place.
yeah.
I'm serious on a door facing. It's gonna hurt like a bitch, but once it's done, you'll be fine. Pain goes away.
It turns out he has an old injury, so calcium crystals formed in his shoulder, and that's what's causing the pain. Really? Look at
Yep,
that.
that can happen to calcium buildup,
Um,
crystals. Yep,
so yeah, God only knows. And until I can get the state, that's
it's
why
a
I have to ask the state for help to get free medical so I can go see what the hell is going on. Pain is the worst. It
have to
is.
go in there and have to scrape it off. And believe me, that hurts like a bitch too.
No, I can imagine. I've been trying to live with the back pain, the hip pain, the neck pain. But now with this arm, thank God it's my left arm, but still, like, you can't put on your jacket, you can't take off a shirt, you can't do none of that. No, not the chiropractor, Diane. I need a regular doctor to check it first because the chiropractor, if it's dislocated or something and they do something the wrong way, they'll fuck me up. Oh, I
But
learned that the hard way.
Diane, I guess you got experience. I mean, that happened today.
No,
Are,
it
are you doing the lying
started.
down?
No, it started 2 weeks ago, but it's just getting worse and worse.
No, no, I'm talking
It's
about
not getting
Diane.
better.
I'm talking about Diane, not you.
Oh, um,
Ain't know all about you.
you can't live with that kind of pain for very long. Oh, thank you.
She says, you know those times when one of your grown ass kids just piss you off and you start to worry about them? Again, a little wine time. Blah, blah,
Oh,
blah.
wine time. Yeah. No, because she said be under that chiropractor. And I was like, no, the chiropractor.
Uh,
I was doing I was talking about the chiropractor. Came in the mail today. Happy I deleted it. My laptop. Oh, my ex used to get gout. And my God, talk about pain. Oh, my father had that in his legs, the gout. Called it the gout. Like it was some kind of monster. Yeah, my father used to get that. But we are 18 minutes in, so we should probably play the video. Now the thing is how to get this big circle to present. What are we thinking? I don't know. Let me turn this.
is there windows open?
Let me turn the
Yeah.
camera around. Uh,
Just asking. Jillian here, I think. Keep that fan down, probably.
yeah, I have to move this down a little more, I think. All right, now how do we present? Layout.
Seen two movies where the guy slams says, yeah, turn it down.
Oh man, well it doesn't work. Present for the circles though. As we are finding this out. I guess it's not the biggest deal because there's really no words. All right, here we go. You guys ready for the video?
Yep. Let's get with it.
All righty. Yeah, because I think we're gonna just play it in the circle. Well, it's fine, I think. Hello and welcome to another spiritual learning video. Today we're going over mysticism. What is it? Let's find out together. Mysticism is the practice of religious ecstasies, religious experiences during an alternate state of consciousness, together with whatever ideologies, ethics, rites, myths, legends, and magic that may be related to them. The term mystic was derived from the Greek noun mys, which originally designated an initiative of a secret cult or mystery religion. In classical Greece, 5th through 4th century BCE, and during the Hellenic Age, 323 BCE through 330 CE, the rites of the mystery religions were largely or wholly secret. Because of this secret, the term mys is derived itself from the verb mayan, to close, especially the eyes or mouth, and signifies a person who kept a secret. Early Christians appropriated the technical vocabulary of the Hellenic mysteries, but later disavowed secrecy, resulting in a transformation of the meaning of the word mys. In subsequent Christians' usage, myths or mystics then referred to practitioners of acceptable forms of religious ecstasy. In the 19th century, after the Romantic movement had shifted the emphasis in much religious thinking from theology to individual experience, the term mysticism was then born. The competition between the perspectives of theology and science resulted in a compromise in which most varieties of what had traditionally been called mysticism were dismissed as merely psychological phenomenon. Then only one variety remained, which was aimed at the union with the absolute, the infinite, or the God, and thereby the perception of its essential unity or oneness was claimed to be genuinely mystical. The historical evidence, however, does not support such a narrow conception of mysticism. Even within the history of Christianity, there were mystics. The traditional concept of mysticism was finally abandoned by academic scholars in the 1970s. Since then, some scholars have rejected the category of mysticism as fiction, while other scholars have enlarged it to encompass all religious uses of alternative states of consciousness. So, what is mysticism? It's a practice that involves religious or spiritual experiences in an altered state of consciousness. It also encompasses the belief that one can achieve direct knowledge of God or spiritual truths through deep meditation. These are some examples of some other aspects of mysticism. Christian mysticism. In early Christianity, the term mystikos referred to three dimensions: the contemplative, the biblical, and the liturgical. Experiences. Mystical experience can involve overcoming the sense of self. They can also evolve a feeling of oneness or union with the divine. Examples of mysticism include meditation, prayers, and chanting mantras. Philosophical system. In philosophy, mysticism is a system that attempts to determine how to achieve a direct union of the human soul with the divinity. Jewish mystics believe that God is incomprehensible by humans, but can be understood through 10 mystical attributes, or sephirot. Tantric mysticism involves raising a subtle energy called kundalini through the chakras. Practitioners believe that this process leads to immortality and magic powers. Sufism is a mystical body of religious practice within Islam that focuses on Islamic purification, spirituality, and ritualism. Mystics believe that they have access to realities that are beyond the scope of ordinary sense perception. They believe that mystical experiences reveal the existence of an extrasensory dimension of reality. Mystics also value transformation and achieving enduring states of consciousness. The belief that union with or absorption into the deity, the absolute, or the spiritual apprehension of knowledge inaccessible to the intellect may be obtained through contemplative or self surrender. Saint Teresa's writings were part of the tradition of the Christian mysticism. An altered state of consciousness, ASC, is a temporary change in a person's mental state that differs from their normal waking state. It can also be called an altered state of mind, altered mental status, or mind alteration. Sleep is a naturally occurring ASC that involves a reduced responsiveness to the environment, decreased muscle activation, and inhabited sensory modalities. Sleep occurs in two forms: rapid eye movement, REM, and non rapid eye movement, NREM. For religious and spiritual reasons, people induce ASC by relaxation, yoga, hypnosis, meditation, some foods, breath work, dance, daydreaming, lucid dreams, sometimes drugs, and sexual intercourse. Mystical thinking can be found in many major faith traditions, including Christianity, Judaism, and Islam. The world we currently find ourselves in is the accumulation of generations living disconnected from reality. What is reality? A question we could debate for eternity. Finding the answer is not as important as asking the question. How much do we personally connect with life, with the present moment? How much of life is nothing more than a set of programs, beliefs, and perceptions that were given to us without question? This has become the story of human life in the modern world, one generation passing on programming that they received, constantly creating the illusion of progress. Always focused on the external material world, completely neglecting the other side of our existence as spiritual beings. The return of the mystic experience could help us transform every aspect of existence. Oftentimes, mysticism is put in the same category as religion. However, mysticism is not religion. The mystical experience transcends any belief system. Many prominent scientists, poets, religious leaders, and even the every person experience this transcendental state every day. Mysticism is concerned with the possibility of personally encountering a spiritual reality that is hidden from our normal awareness. It is available to every individual human being. To use an example, imagine that you want to travel to a different part of the world. You ask others about it. Some say it's safe, some say it's dangerous, some say it's exciting, and others say it's boring. The only way to know about the country is through direct experience. Everything else is someone else's experience. Mystics are not concerned with beliefs or doctrines, but with the natural state of consciousness that has been experienced and pointed to by people of all cultures, creeds, religions, and those of no religion. It is contemplation of the essential mysteries of life. Who am I? What is the purpose of life? These questions cannot be solved by the modern, rational, analytical mind. Instead, we must return to the childlike experience of wonder. Returning to mysticism is about daring to trust one's own experience rather than external authority. Mysticism requires each of us to take a journey into mystery alone. We often forget that culture is made up of individuals. We can change culture by changing ourselves. Nature-based cultures had something called a rites of passage. These were designed to help the individual prepare for and move through space into mystery. In modern culture, we refer to this as the hero's journey. How to start? Well, preparation, beginning to leave the known world behind. Then initiation, the deep dive into mystery. And then incorporation, returning and assimilating your new way of being into everyday life. The journey itself will challenge one to face the dragons and gatekeepers of the depths of the psyche. The more light of awareness we can shine on the unconscious, the more control we have in our ability to take part as co-creators with existence. Thank you so much for joining us for another spiritual learning video. If you like this content, check out our spiritual learning play. All right, guys. Let's go back so that we could get Mary's little circle. Ah, there we go. And then I'll fix you so I can turn that back on. But that, I thought that was really interesting because that really does describe most of us, just more spiritual beings than religious, like going by regular just religion. Yeah.
I was sharing out.
Great. Welcome in, Amber. You didn't miss anything. Yesterday was the readings. Today was Spiritual Thursday. That video, if you didn't see it from the beginning, will go out after the stream so that you can watch the video or you can watch the stream over. It started about 18 minutes in. We started the video.
Hi, Black.
Yes, Scott, that video was good. Oops, my camera's still around. Hello. We don't want to see the back of my chair. Oh, yes, here I am. Here we are. So yeah. So yes, you're only 3 hours from Canada. Where, when you go into Canada, have you gone? Where do you enter? Like what's
That's
the town?
perfect.
I think Danny's on the other side though. You could be really close to Canada, but still have to drive them another 20 hours to get all through Canada to get to Danny. So it depends on where she is, because then I'm like, damn, if I can move to Utica, New York, then I have to go too far. If it's 3 hours from Canada, where? Where will you end up in Canada? Yeah, but Mary, I'm gonna be in Indiana, so maybe my daughter's wedding's on Saturday. I think we're going back then Tuesday. Maybe I can come and visit you Monday.
It'd be nice. What day?
Her wedding's Saturday, February 8th.
Okay.
Yeah, well, it was to cleanse your chakra, mostly
It's
your
about
third eye, Scott.
it's about a 3 hour drive.
Yeah, yeah.
2 to 3 hours. Wow.
I'll see if I could get her to take.
Right. Mm. I know. It'd be nice.
Because while I'm there, I might as well visit you once, you know.
He said it'd be nice if it was warmer weather
Oh, yeah.
where we could sit outside too and visit and then on the sun and enjoy the yard. She's got a yard. She's got a nice yard.
Oh yeah.
Her backyard's cool, man. All her little lights and stuff she got. I'm supposed to put some out myself.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, that video tells you all the teas to cleanse your chakras. Because it said, I think your third eye is very hazy, so you have to clear it. It's not exactly cleansing, it's clearing. So,
Yes, we do, Black. I agree. It's 23. It's 23 degrees here. So it
hey,
feels
Bam,
like it's 21.
I don't even know what it is here. I haven't gone out. My son went to work and came. It's 30 here
Snow's
in New York.
supposed to start about 7 a.m.
30 here in New York.
Well,
When
that's crazy.
your snow is going to start again tomorrow?
Yeah, oh yeah, we got warnings out.
We're going to start Saturday, have a little snow, but you're getting snow tomorrow too? Oh, yes, barely. It's 23 here. What the heck? Yeah, no, 30 in New
Can you
York.
still hear me? I'm trying to figure out how to get back to you.
Yes, I hear you.
Well, what is the deal?
You just lowered the window, probably. It's there somewhere.
Well, here I am. Yeah,
Right.
okay.
She
Yeah,
found herself.
they upgraded us from it. First, it was a winter weather advisory. Now it's a winter weather warning
Mhm.
storm warning.
Um, yes, Scott. But even start a daydream. I don't do meditation either. My mind cannot handle it. It can handle daydreams. So what I do is sit here and start daydreaming, and they can give you messages in your daydream. And you just start daydreaming about anything. Daydream about your art. That itself, just pick one thing to focus on, like your art, maybe your program, and what's going to be your next project. Just sit there and think about that. And once you start doing that, and your mind is just doing that, they can give you messages. Daydreaming
Right. If you,
is really close to meditation.
I got the same problem, Scott. I didn't have before, but I do now, where my mind is going 90 to nothing about things. And anyway, I have learned to focus on, if I focus on like one thing that I like say music or uh just anything like, and I'm thinking about that and I'm focusing on that, and it slows my brain down enough and my mind down enough to where they can come through and communicate with me better. So I'm working on it. It's a process. It's not easy to do. And I learned through that. I kind of focus on, like, say, I'll focus on one thing when I try to meditate or when I go to meditate, not try, but go to meditate. It may, you may be only focusing 5 minutes at a time, or you may be doing it 10 minutes at a time. But you'll work up to doing it more and more and more. Like, say, you start out 5, next thing you know, you're doing 10, and then you're doing 15, and then it goes on up. I mean,
Yeah.
you'll
uh,
get there.
Yep. And that's it, Scott. That's basically meditation too. If you're just sitting, relaxing, eyes closed, and just pick one thing to focus on, like your art, and start
There you
building.
go,
I don't
Scott.
some
Yeah.
take a blank white paper and start, like, in your head, you're drawing your art on it. They give you a message, even in what you're drawing. Um, no, you're not the only one, Scott. I can't. I never been able to, but I always been a big daydreamer. Always. That's actually how they hit me with my vision on my 5 hour like download vision for my spiritual awakening. I was
Well,
sitting there
Scott,
doing something, and and my mind wandered off into a daydream, and then I was stuck there for 5 hours watching this whole vision play out where I couldn't even move. So yeah, that's they can. So,
well,
but
people with ADD or ADHD have that problem, Scott. So you're not in it by yourself. I mean, and because I have PTSD is part of the reason why I got to where I wasn't able to meditate there for a while. I mean, when I had surgery, it just screwed me up, and I was screwed up for a while, and I still have setbacks,
oh,
as we
that's
all know. But
a nice hot bath. I
what?
don't tend to meditate in the shower or even try to daydream or anything in the shower because I don't want any spirits following me in the shower. Like that's my only sacred space.
It's best that you don't do that in the shower
Nobody's
because
allowed in the bathroom.
I mean you could slip up and hurt yourself. Boomer said he'll be here in about 30 minutes, and I'm gonna take 5 minutes. I gotta go to the bathroom.
Oh, have fun. Mary's sneaking out. I have, yes. Yeah, so it's hard. Your mind wanders, right? But um meditation isn't the only way. Dreams, regular when you sleep at night, regular dreams. We went over how you do a dream diary and how to keep notes on the dreams and make sure you have something next to you that you when you wake up you can write it down. Or a tape recorder where you could talk it into the dream with as much detail as you can remember as soon as you wake up so that you know that you can see what it is. I'm ready for the winter wonderland, not me. Oh, I mean, in New York, we've only had two little dustings. Hasn't been over an inch in the city. In the city. Um, Tomorrow, I don't think it's gonna be. I mean, Saturday, I don't think it's gonna go over an inch either. Um, I don't like any of it. I was meant to live in a place where it's nice all year round. Never like the cold, ever, 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 ever. So I'm definitely in the wrong spot. The teas are good. I was talking about that because I did a whole video on teas to cleanse your chakras and to balance you and to help you. They aren't used to it, so it's going to be funny. Yeah, was over 2 feet. Oh gosh. Hey, Diane. We see you there. Um, Now you got me curious. What would be the weather? Hmm. Saturday. I'll tell you. I don't think it'd be over an inch, really. It says snow on Saturday, then it changed its mind, huh? I don't know. It says only a 1% chance of precipitation on Saturday, so maybe they changed their mind. Maybe we'll get lucky and we'll miss it all. Did they move it to Sunday? No. Mm-mm. Yeah, I don't know. So yeah, whatever's gonna be very little here if we get anything on Saturday. So because it might fall under 31, that it won't snow. It won't snow. Snow is fun and relaxing. Okay, James, you come here and sit in the snow, and I'll go over there and sit in the sun. Can we do that? I'll trade with you. It hasn't snowed here like it snowed, I don't know what, last week a little. And then but it's been so windy. I tried to open the door almost flew off the freaking handle. We went almost off, and it's a big, heavy glass screen door, and it almost flew out of the. Hey, Charlie. Ooh, yeah, Arizona is like the desert, right? It's not cold there, I don't think. You miss it? Yeah, you too. Bottle it up and bring it all to you guys. I'll send over snow to Florida. That's exactly what, yeah. Mm-mm. But sometimes it's just cold to the bone. Like the wind. Like I don't care. I'd have to wear a full body protection from the wind to not to not be cold. Like the wind is horrific lately. Mm-mm. I need the snow for water. No, it rains a lot here, so we don't need the water. Mary, be right back. She's using the facilities. She's using the facilities. I wonder, like, if somebody else comes up, how does the circles go? I think the little circles are cool. They kind of look like records. Bye, Kathy. Thanks for coming in. Yeah, so that's it. So, yeah. I think the video was good. Not too many questions on it, but you guys, if you guys look it up, the mysticism, it's just like what most of us believe that, it's just very spiritual. And I still freeze my butt off right black. Exactly. And the older you get, I think the worse it gets, the cold on your bones, on your body. It sucks. Really. It really does. Oy. No, that's what I did. I picked up this phone so I can unplug it and plug you guys in so I don't run out. That's what I wanted to do. And I couldn't remember. I took the phone and I'm like, what am I doing with it? Oh, do you see what happens when you get home? When I drove over the hill into Sedona, it was like being in space with the stars. Really? That sounds lovely. Oops, I lost my chat. Oh, here we go. I remember the song "We Are the Monkeys" and we like to monkey around. They sing that song, right? Yeah, I can imagine. When you're with all the lights, I remember one time, years and years ago, gosh, this had to be, my daughter was 3, so 22 years ago. I went to Jersey and I went to to the seaside. What the heck was that town called in Jersey? Yeah, I don't know. It's this little bread and breakfast town, right? And I went at night. We were staying at a bed and breakfast like 2 blocks from the water, from the beach. So I walked down to the beach at night and I just sat there and looked up, and you can literally see every star in the damn sky. And I was like, this is unbelievable. Like, how come we don't have these stars in New York? Um, because even when I was in Long Island and I would go to the shore, I was like, no, you can't see any stars. There's just too many lights, but there, not as much. It was nice. Yes, they did. I grew up with monkey songs. My mother was, unfortunately, I had to listen when we were younger, and I'm sure this goes for everybody. Whatever my mother was listening to, that's what we had to listen to. Like, she didn't let you change her music. She listened to the music while she was cleaning, while she was in the car, and she loved Sting and the Police. I don't know. I think that's almost like for 2 years we would just listen to that, Sting and the Police. I was like, oh, can we listen to something else? And then back in the day, I don't even know if they have this station anymore. It was like called WPLJ. 95.5 was the station. And she would just listen to that all day long when she was cleaning. Like, it was like, okay, whatever they played, that's it. And then they still weren't big. They weren't playing it like Monkeys itself. She was also a big Beatle fan, so we did listen to a lot of Beatles and Sting. And then she got into Spanish music, and then that was a whole other story. I was like, Ma, I don't understand what they're saying. So when you get your own car, you listen to what you want, right? Well, when we got a little older, like teenagers, I started working and I got myself a Walkman. And then when we'd go in the car, I'd put my Walkman on with my mixtape from the radio and I'd listen to it in my ears. Yeah. Yep. And then my sister would try to bother me in the back seat because we're 6 years apart and she didn't have a Walkman. And she was like, Ma, I don't want to listen to this. And they would be arguing. I'd be just sitting there with my headphones on real loud. Oh, that's good, Diane. My brother had mixtapes. Yes, that's what I used to do. I had a dual cassette player. You guys remember those back in the day? And you'd have, a blank tape in one, and you'd play the radio. I'd play the radio, and then I'd record the songs I liked from the radio, and then I'd make a mixtape. I don't know why they don't have that anymore. That was the best freaking thing ever. Now you just listen to YouTube radio, but still, like, those were the best. Yeah, like, or then you can like, and then when you got sick of some songs, then you would take some of your mixtapes and you'd tape from one to another to put all the songs on that you like. Like when they came out with the Like they had the Walkman, but then they had like that player that you could walk around with, the personal CD player. And I'm like, why would you do this? Because all the CDs is one person. And so if you don't like every single song on the CD, like what are you going to do? Carry around 20 million CDs? I thought that was the stupidest thing they ever came up with. I'm like, should have just stayed with the tapes, idiots. Yeah, the Walkman, but the CD thing was different. I forget what they call the CD one. What was those personal CD players called? Discman, that's what it was. You had the Walkman, and then you had the Discman come out. And I was like, no, who made this? This is dumb. CDs also skipped. Yeah. I mean, your tape would get warped after a while, but still took a while. And then you just put another tape in, and tapes were cheaper. So I never understood why you would carry a personal Discman around when you'd have to carry a whole thing of CDs to change them. Like it didn't make sense to me. Mm-mm. Yeah, so my father was one of those people, whatever he saw that he liked, he wanted to get, right? And my mother did all the finances because my father was on disability and my mother was the one working. So he'd be like, oh, doesn't this look cool? My mom was like, no, what are you going to do with that? You don't even leave the house, right? And so then like he wouldn't mention it again, and of course she'd forget about it. And then like for Christmas he'd get her that, like the thing that he wanted. And she's like, I told you, what are we going to do with this? And he's like, I thought you would like it because you can carry it around. She goes, where? I have a car that has a tape player. And like, ugh, she used to get so mad at him. What about the huge books of CDs in your lap while you were driving, picking what to listen to next? Right, Kelly? It was so dumb. But then what they came out with, which was I thought way better than the CD thing, was that little what did they used to call it? The iPod? But it wasn't Apple. Before Apple came out with the iPod, they called it a what the heck was it? It was a tiny little square thing and you couldn't tape music on it electronically, and you could plug that into the car, you know. The MP3 player. Is that what it's called? The little one? The MP3 player. Yes, that's what it was. Yes, James. It was a little. Now you could get them for $1.99. Can you fucking imagine? Yeah, you used to get the little box. Yeah, it was the MP3 player, and then you can. It had a cord that you could put it in and plug it into your car, and that would have the mixed music, so you wouldn't have to fuss with the stupid ass CDs in the car. That was good. They also had, if your car didn't come with like used to have this thing, it looked like a cassette that you could put in the car and plug it in too, and you could play your cassettes. Like if you're play your cassettes if the car had a CD player and you wanted to play cassettes. Like, yeah, they had a lot of things. I loved the MP3. Yeah, when that came out, that was 10 times better. Like that was better. Like they should have just skipped over the Discman because you could have did without that bullshit and just went right to the MP3 player. Yeah, because that was better. That was way better than I hated that Discman, but I always walked with my Walkman, and I had the Walkman forever. I had that Sony Sport, like, and you could drop that shit 80 times. It wouldn't break. Like, it was the best thing ever. Yeah. But then I went from my Walkman or my disc, yeah, my Walkman, because I never got that Discman. I didn't like that shit. I got I got the from the Walkman, I went to the MP3 player. But yeah. And if it had batteries, yeah, it was good. But if you had to charge it, no. My wife got me hooked on the MP3 player. Yeah. Now I just I make playlists in YouTube and I just put it on and I play the music. But yeah, but before YouTube was big, right? What did you do? You listened to it on when you were walking. I don't even think cell phones. I think MP3s were like before people could actually afford cell phones. So you weren't listening to music on your cell phone. All that stuff died out once cell phones became affordable for everybody because then you could just listen to music on your phone, right? With your headphone. Um oh man, we are bringing up memories. Yes. Um Come on, that boombox with the dual cassette, that was my favorite thing. I went everywhere around the neighborhood with that shit. I took it, played it at my friend's house, played it there, the best freaking thing ever invented. The only thing was, now that I think about it, the only thing about those things were those things took 8D batteries or something crazy, 6 or 8D batteries. Back then, D batteries were cheap. Now, to get D batteries would be like, what the hell? But I think it took I think the stupid thing, if you didn't have a plug, it's okay, you could play it on batteries, but it was like 6 or 8D batteries to play your boombox. My daughter had no idea what we're talking about, right? Oh. Do you? VHS tapes are worth money now. I wish I knew that because when we were moving, my son is still mad at me. When we were moving from Long Island, I was like, I don't need all these VHS tapes. They don't even make VHS anymore. And I tossed them all. I put them out in the front. That was it. Didn't think about it. But But before cell phones, I would have my Walkman and my beeper. How many people had a beeper? That was the only way your parents could get in touch with you, right? And I used to, there was a Chinese store and they had these cool beepers. I had all different pretty colored ones and all this stuff. And it was $14.99 a month to have beeper service back then. I was in the early 90s, damn it. Yeah, it had to be. It was before my daughter. And I remember I was working at Victoria's Secrets and I put it on top of the toilet bowl so I could go to the bathroom. And the stupid thing vibrated and fell in the toilet bowl. And I had to go get it fixed. And I was like, she's like, I could fix it. I could dry it out. It'll be okay. But you can't drop it in water again. And I'm like, oh, okay. Bag, phone in the car. No, I had the pager and my parents and we used to have all these codes for the pager. Like if you would turn the numbers upside down, it would say hello. But all your friends had codes. So I was 411 because it was my birthday, and somebody else had 007, and 007 was Mike, and you know, 112 was Jody, and I'm just making up names, but so everybody had a code. So after they'd put in the phone number, they'd put a code because we were using payphones, right? So they'd put in the code so you knew who was calling, and then you'd call that payphone and they'd pick up. Shit, what we had to do back in the day to get in touch with somebody. Shit, now that I think about it. Yep. We used to have the codes, so they would put the number, put their code, you knew who was calling, then you'd call them back from the payphone and they pick up at the other payphone. Ah, your father would beep you with the home number. Your shit, you knew you were in trouble if you saw your house number on that. Fuck. Dad knows I'm cutting out of school. So I would wait, you know, until it was like get out of school time, and then I would call him and I'm like, why were you paging me? I was in school. Meanwhile, I was in the freaking Flushing Meadow Park and shit. So yeah, I miss GI Joe aircraft carrier. Yeah. I was just watching this, I don't know, this lady on YouTube, and she gets mystery boxes, and she got they had 70s, 80s, or 90s mystery toy boxes, so it's a box with toys from whatever decade, So she got the 90s one, and when she opened it up, she's like, "What's in the egg?" She's like, "A Tamagotchi." And then I had that paper thing where you put your fingers in and you tried to get your fingers out of, like, they had a Rubik's cube, like. So she's like, "No, that's a pretty good mystery box." They had a whoopee cushion, But yeah, you could get those like mystery boxes from different ages, like toys from whatever year, and you get a few toys, and it was cool, I remember that Tamagotchi, feed it water, and shit, I had that thing for years. The Chinese finger trap. Yes. Yep. Yeah, that lady was crazy. She bought like $1,500 in mystery boxes from all over. So 2 mystery boxes never came, so obviously a scam. The one of them was kind of scammy too, like, but it wasn't terrible because she did get something, even though like it was like the mystery box was, I don't know, $20, and then you have to spin a wheel and you get a cover for your tablet, right? And so when you open it up, she goes, "Oh, great, pink tablet cover." And then when you go to the Amazon, the cover itself, you could get that cover for $9. Meanwhile, she's paid 20 for the box, and it only came with that. So some things were kind of scammy, but at least she got something. 2 of them, she never got anything. She's like, "Damn, like, that's really scam." Like, at least send something. But I like those. Some of those mystery boxes are interesting. She ordered from this one place, like, you know, uh, the $75 mystery box of clothes, like vintage clothing or whatever, and you say your size. And she opens this box up and she's like, "There's so much clothes." And she was putting them on, and she's like, "Some of them are grandma vibes, like grandma on the beach," but like, but it was just the patterns, but they weren't like grandma clothing. Grandma would never wear that. But like, it was kind of funny because she's young. But yeah, I remember getting a science kit that had uranium. Yep. They used to give us that kind of stuff. I'll never forget, like, Fisher Price used to make this apple. The apple weighed like a ton, and it had a bell in it, and you would push it and it would rock back and forth and ring with the little belly in it, right? But it weighed literally a ton. And somebody gave it to us because we were poor. We couldn't afford this stuff. So it was a hand-me-down, and I used to play with it even though I was older. And my sister wanted to play with it, and she was younger, and she was like, tried to pull it away from me, and I grabbed it and I hit it. Oh my God, I think I knocked her out. Like, I know my mother was pissed. I was punished for like a week. I knocked her out with the freaking Fisher Price apple. Like, I just hit her with it, and down for the count. Like, but that's how dangerous those toys were. This is goddamn good for infants. Kelly. Yep, it's true. Well, see, I was in New York, and I remember telling my mother, "Mom, going to sleep over what's her name's house? Jamie. I don't even remember her freaking name, right?" And she's like, "Uh-huh." Now I think her parents were deceased, and her sister, who had a little baby, and her sister wasn't that old, in her mid 20s, maybe 22, 23, and we were teenagers, 16. And so she's watching her baby, right? And the the sister, and now I come over, and we were like, And she tells her sister, we're going to sleep over at Christina's house. The sister says, okay. And we go to the club, right? We go to the club. It's my birthday, you know? And I'm like, yeah, we're going to the club. And so we go and we get a bottle of champagne. And between the both of us, we finish a bottle of champagne, okay? And we're at the club dancing. It was called Papagallos. I'll never forget. I love that damn club. Now they made it a chiropractor. Anyway, talking about chiropractors, Diane, the damn nightclub's a chiropractor place. Anyway, back in the day, if you guys know, if you know, your parents knew everybody, everybody knew everybody. If someone saw you on the street, they were telling your parents what you were doing. So obviously, someone drove by and saw me and my friend online at Papagallos, right? And called my mother. So we finished the whole bottle of champagne. We're dancing sick. I was sick, right? My mother, all of a sudden, she
I'm
goes,
back.
welcome back. She goes, my mother goes to go into the club and they stop her, right? Because you gotta wait online, whatever. She's like, listen to me, I'll have your liquor license pulled if you don't let me in so I could get my daughter and her dumbass friend and beat the shit out of them and take them home. And so the bouncers let her in because they're like, fuck this shit. You know? Even though we had fake ID, that's how we got in. But anyway, my mother comes, she drags us out of that club, she puts us in her car. And of course, now we're so drunk, we're both throwing up in her car. She was so freaking pissed off. Oh man, I was in so much trouble. I got poison ivy on my hoo ha from squatting down, peeing outside a party in the woods. I didn't want to go to
I can
the
say if I
doctor,
threw something at
but I
somebody,
relented. He took
I
a
hit
quick
my target.
Yeah, he took a quick look and said, "Yep, that's poison ivy." And yeah, Kelly.
I can tell you a story about me and my brother.
Yes, go ahead.
When we was young, you know, I don't know what age we was. We was probably he was old enough to get a BB gun. So we lived in the country. I grew up in the country, and we had horses and and all that stuff. But anyway, we was out, and I was out in the horse pasture where I was always at, and I was out there with the horses and stuff. And he decides to get his BB gun out, so he gets it out and he aims it. And he aims it at my rear end and hits me in the rear end with BB. Okay, I said, all right. I was young and I was crying. I was a kid. I was crying. I said, it's all right. I'll get you back. I said, you're never going to. I said, you're not going to see it coming when I do it either. A few days go by and he's out there in the yard and he's out there mouthing and carrying on. I just picked up a rock and I threw it, smacked him right in the back of the head. To this day, he wears a scar where he had stitches. He tells everybody, he says, if she tells you she's going to hit you with something, she's going to hit you with it. She said she never missed hitting me any time that she said she was going to do it.
Yep.
And I mean, it was from a distance too, man. I smacked him right in the back of the head, cut his head open. My mom says, well, she shook her head. She said, well, she told you she was going to get you back.
Yep.
She did. He said, but she said, I don't condone you doing that, but you know, what comes around goes around. That's what my parents always say. What comes around goes around.
Yep.
You're gonna get
Well,
back.
it's true. Like, my son was like 5. Yeah, he was 5. He was young, either 4.5 or 5. And we went over. My daughter was, well, my son. This lady had a son that was just maybe a year or two older than my daughter, so they would hang out. And she had a daughter who was right around my son's age. So, the two younger ones would play, the older ones would play, and her and I would sit and have coffee. So the kids were playing, and so the older boy gives my son 4.5, 5 a BB gun.
Yeah.
I go into the room. I didn't know what it was. I had a heart attack. And I'm like, don't you dare. You're going to poke your eye out. You're going to kill somebody. And I went to grab it, and my son pulls the trigger, and I spin because I'm like, shit, I don't want this to hit me. And wham, did it whack me in the ass. I couldn't sleep for a week. Oh,
Oh
man, I was
wow.
pissed.
I'd have been pissed too. Well,
Because it was at a close distance. It wasn't far. They had a tiny apartment. They were at one side of the room, and I was at the door. It wasn't far.
hey, atmosphere, what's fair in love and war,
Yeah.
Yeah, I get back what I get. Yeah, yeah. Somebody picks on me, they're gonna get it back. I don't care if it takes me from now till the day before I die. I mean, it's just
Yeah.
how it is. I don't know. I'm not so much fat out for revenge now, but I
Oh, you
wouldn't put
pump it
your
up? No,
I
this
wouldn't
thing,
put your luck with me. I'll put you like that.
yeah, this thing shot out supposedly. I mean, it looked like a gun, but it really didn't shoot out BBs. It was like a high,
Pellets, it's shot pellets.
yeah, it shot pellets, but like at high speed. And they still freaking hurt. I
Right.
couldn't sit for a week and a half.
A pellet gun is it's more high speed than a BB gun.
Yeah, but the
It
BB
hurts worse
pellets are
too.
like metal. These were like, I don't know, little plastic things, but that shit
Yeah,
hurt.
they hurt. They
And
hurt
it would
worse than the
still take
BB
your
gun.
eye out if you freaking shot somebody with that crap.
Yep. They have this aerosol. They have well, I don't know how long ago that was, but the aerosol pellet guns now, man, they shoot. You shoot one of them, you gonna feel it,
Oh yeah, no,
especially if it's anywhere in the vicinity of 15 feet or
yeah,
10 feet. You're gonna really feel it.
yeah, no. This was well, my son was 5, now he's 19, so it was a while ago. But
We used to do some crazy things when we was kids. We lived
yeah,
on this farm and see back in the back was, and they had us. It was a sod farm to one side of us. You know what a sod is, right? Sod grass,
yeah,
where they regrass people's houses or yards and stuff. Anyway, it was a sod farm. It was big up there by Chicago. They have them. Anyway, there was this farm back there that had all this white powder stuff in it. Well, the white powder was actually bones that was ground up. It was bone marrow, is what it was, ground up the bones and stuff to put in as fertilizer,
right.
right? Well, us kids are barefoot. We're running around in there playing in this crap. We don't know what it is. We just know it's mountains for us to play on. And come find out it's bones. We're playing it out there in bones. I mean, like it wasn't nothing. And, kids nowadays, why they're sick all the time, and why this is my theory on it, on why kids nowadays are sick all the time, and they're just not. There's just more sickness in the world than there was when we was kids. Is because us kids was out in the environment. We played out. We was around stuff like playing that bone marrow and stuff. You think it made us sick, but it didn't. Our immune systems was so used to fighting off all this stuff that it made us stronger.
Oh yeah,
And nowadays it's not like that. Kids nowadays get sick so easy because they're
oh
not out. They sit at home in their house on their video games. They're not out doing anything in the yard. They're not, out riding their bike. They're not, in town. It's in the cities and stuff, and it's hard to let them out anymore because
right,
there's so
Kelly.
much more crime and stuff than there was when
Oh
we was
yeah, well,
kids.
even me, the scariest thing for me when I was right a new mother in my 20s, I was afraid they were gonna get kidnapped. A nice white baby, we're gonna sell them, right? Shit, I didn't let my kids out of my fucking sight, but I ran up and down the block with them while they rode their bikes and all that shit. till we moved when my son was 5, but my daughter was already, you know, 14, when we moved to Long Island, where I could let him out and to ride his bike in the little trailer park. But damn, I wouldn't let them out, like,
Right. I
because it
mean,
was in
yeah,
the
you guys
schoolyard
told
with
me
me
all
watching them and stuff. But I did take them a lot of places. Like, I tried to give them culture. Like, I took my daughter and her friend to an opera. I took them to see like a Broadway show. I took them like I would take them places. I would take them to different parks,
right.
stuff like that. But I was like, yeah, no, we're not. I was afraid someone would kidnap them. Hey, Jen, I was really like, they were like, can we ride our bike? And I'm like, yeah, I'm coming. And they're like, I could ride the bike in the front without. No, you can't.
Well,
Like,
my kids, they grew up in a small town, so it was okay for them to ride their bikes and stuff, and stuff like that. I could let them out in the yard, and
yeah,
it was safe for them. You
yeah,
know, I would sit out there with them, or I make sure I knew where they were at. They think I didn't. They think that I didn't keep an eye on them. They think that I just let them run wild. And they think I wasn't there, keep taking care of them, but I was.
no.
They think I didn't know nothing, but I knew all of it.
No, you're right, because I didn't let my son cross the street until goddamn he was almost 10.
Well, I didn't
Me,
let my kids.
I
Yeah,
would run across the street 5 years old. We'd look, we'd run, like go
yeah, I
across
didn't
the
let my
street,
kids
play with the,
out.
you know.
I didn't let my kids out by themselves until they were, God, 12 and 13, 13,
Yeah,
14.
yeah, like they couldn't
I
cross the
mean,
street
it
by them.
was, yeah, it was just something you didn't do.
Yeah,
And I
exactly.
mean, I think it's because it was so much different than what it was growing up when we was kids. We don't live in the country, was in town, and stuff. And see, when I was raised in the country. You got out, walked down dirt roads. You went out and skipped rocks. You went out and played in the pasture with the horses and the animals, and
Yeah,
you played with your dog, and you done all kinds of stuff.
right,
You climbed on stuff, and just and you had chores to do. You had stuff to do. I mean,
right, black.
even in
Well,
town you had chores, but I'm just saying our immune system was built up around that,
but
and
you're
it's
right,
not
because I
now.
read an article, like I would like eat grass. I would eat grass, anything green, because I loved grapes. I was stopped in the street. I was like 25, and this guy stops me and he's like, "I know you," and I just look at him and I don't remember nobody, right? I don't care. From when I was like, after I had my daughter, my memory started going floopy.
Check that
I
later.
had very bad memory after I had my first kid. So um I look at him, I don't remember him, right? And he's like, "I went to pre-K with you." I'm like, "What the fuck, guy?" you know? Like, really, you remember me from pre-K? He's like, "Yeah, you were the one who ate the green crayons." And I'm like, "Really?" But I knew I did, so I knew he knew me. But anyway, yeah, so I would eat grass, I would eat the crayons, whatever the fuck was green. I would stick everything in my mouth. And this wasn't like when baby, like, you're 5 in pre-K, right? 4.5, whatever. I would eat everything, touch everything. I was always filthy, filthy. I was one of those filthy people. My mother would send me out in black. I was a kid, okay, and I'd be covered in dirt, like covered. Like, she's like, "What were you doing, rolling around in the grass?" Hell yeah, that's what I was doing. What did you think you sent me outside for? You know, I was a mess. My sister too, because she was a tomboy. She was more messy than I was. You couldn't walk her to the car without her falling in a puddle that is in the worst place ever, Like, how did she find that puddle? I don't freaking know. She was worse than me. But yeah, but I was reading this. You just enough being a kid. Yep. But I was reading this article because
I said
I
boomerang ain't,
never
by the
got
way.
stung by a bee until I had my kids. I was about 30. Damn. But I didn't. die. Thank goodness. I didn't have any allergic reaction, but that shit hurt. But that was the first time I had got stung by a bee. Now, they had this article because then I looked it up because I was curious. The kids like me who ate dirt and rolled around in the dirt and, all this good stuff was always dirty, built up an immune system. So, like, they would take these things so these two kids, one grew up in the city, one grew up out on like in the farm, right? They both got stung by a bee. They were teenagers. One died, one didn't. One who was always outside making mud pies like me, whatever, was fine. The one who was in the city and the mother babied to death and wouldn't let her touch anything was the one who died. So they say, no, let them touch it, let them put crap in their mouth, let them do that because otherwise you don't build up an immune system. And when something does happen, it's worse, you know? So Mary's definitely right on that. Yes, I loved making mud pies. Of course. Who didn't like making mud pies?
Yep, I made mud pies. I eat all kinds of stuff. I swam. I probably told you this before, but I swam in a horse where the horses drink water out of, and this big concrete bat thing is what I call it anyway. Anyway, put water in it, and it would get. You guys know how the sides get, the slime and the buildup of algae and all that. We swam in that, slid across it, probably drank some of it for that matter. I mean, who knows? But I mean, we'd get in there to cool off, in the summertime. It get hot. And so, I mean, I'm surprised we wasn't sick all the time, but we
Yeah.
wasn't because we built that immune system up.
Mary, did you just type that in the chat to Diane?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I was like, I didn't type that. How come it says that I typed it? That I got nervous that I was like, somebody cloned me. But because we're using yours and you typed it under,
Right. It come up in your name.
it comes up as me.
That's
Okay.
crazy. It come up on your name.
It scared the crap out of me that I was about to
Oh,
be like, block that person. Who is it? I would have blocked myself.
right. You would have. You've been blocking yourself,
Yeah,
right?
I would have been blocked.
Oh
But I was
wow.
looking like, what the hell is going on? Like somebody cloned me. I haven't seen that in ages on YouTube, but now I realize what it is.
Right, Black. I mean, that happened too. Bees and stuff. He said he was attacked and said by several bees, I guess, and the doctor said he should have died, but he didn't. I mean, I was, we was playing it out, and of course we was in the country, and this building had some. It was an old building there, and it was old shed, is what it was, or they used to keep feeding stuff in it, I guess. But anyway, it was like tear downable, and we was playing around it. You'd think we'd have been snake bit and everything else, but it almost was one time. But anyway, I jumped down barefoot as can be. I jumped down out of that building, landed on this board that had this big old rusty nail sticking up in it, and the nail went through my foot. And my brother had to go get my mom because we couldn't get the board off my foot. She had to stand on the board and pull me off of it, pull my foot up off of the nail. You talking about hurt? Oh, I still remember that pain. And instead of taking me to the doctor, you know what she did? It,
What?
she put a big piece of Joel bacon and the fat out of that Joel bacon draw the rust out and the poison out of my foot, and it kept it from getting infected. But she put that on there and wrapped it, and then it stayed on there for 24 hours. I'm surprised I don't want to stink it with fat grease on the bottom of my foot, but I walked around with that on my foot for a while. And she changed it out and put some more on there.
Yep.
She said it would work. It would take that it would, it was old way of doing stuff,
Yep. Oh no, yeah. I remember I was playing hide and go seek in my hallway. Well, we decided to hide in my hallway, and we figured the girl wouldn't find us. Anyway, finally she gives up, and she sits on the stairs right in front of where we are hiding in the hallway. The hallway had one door, then a little um like
Black.
two stairs down, and then another door, and then two stairs down. So she was sitting on the first two stairs, then there was the glass door, then it was the two stairs, and then it was a door with all these square glass panes, and we were standing right behind the door, and we're like, she can't see us. So after a while we were laughing, and she still wasn't moving off the stairs. So we both leaned on the glass, and I knocked on the glass, and it was a light knock now. My friend knocked on the glass too, but my hand went through one of the panes. Oh man, I was screaming. My mother comes out, and I'm like standing in blood all over my arm. And we didn't have any band-aids. We were poor. And my mother brought me to one of the girls' house that I was with, and she's like, "You have any band-aids?" And she's like, "Sure." And her and the lady sat there pulling all the glass out of my arms with the tweezers, washing it, and putting tiny round band-aids on. I had like 150 band-aids from my fingers all the way up to my shoulder. I was like, what the hell? I looked like I had the chicken pox or something. It was terrible. Yeah.
I'm reading chat. Said he had over 100 stings.
Oh, yeah. Poor Black. Yuck. We had a blast, right? No, I didn't
Oh my
like.
God. Did you read what Diane put? She said, I would capture a bee, put it in an oyster shell, and pretend I was shaving like the Flintstones. Oh, that's funny. that's, that's funny.
Oh, no. No, I didn't mess with the bees.
Yeah, Black, I know you love bacon. That's why I said you like that story. Uh, Diane said that she swam in a creek. Yep, yep, I've done all that too. Swam in the
No.
Ohio River, and that's one of the worst rivers, and they got some big, big fish in that sucker. I don't know what possessed me swimming that river, but I did it.
Now, see, that's the only thing I'm glad I lived in the city. We didn't have any of this. So we had to drive to a beach, right? So my mother and they were afraid with the waves because we were young. And, back then, the mothers really didn't like watching the kids. They wanted you to go play, but they didn't want to watch you, right? So my mother and my best friend's mother took us to Jones Bay. It was called the Bay part of Jones Beach. It was on the other side. And the sand was all like clay and gross and black, and the water was very calm because it was the bay part, and so they didn't have to watch us too much. Well, let me tell you, there was little fishes in there, fine, whatever. But I remember standing in there with my friend, and all of a sudden something bit me, and when I lifted my foot up, there was a crab, clawed onto my toe, and I was screaming. And I was like, I'm not going in this water anymore. Who
She's
said
doing a crab.
you could
She's
put
doing a crab
crabs
dance,
in the
y'all. Look at
water?
her.
Like, I don't mind the fish, and then there was all jellyfish too, but I mean, like, crabs, really? No.
She invented a new dance called the crab dance. I love frogs. My aunt, she collected frogs. Not my aunt's daughter collected frogs, little frog uh figurines and stuff. And she did ceramics too. and she had so many at one time. It was crazy, but and her collection was worth money. And my aunt, which her mother, she collected elephants.
Mm,
Uh, elephants has their tusks down, not their tusks, but their nose or
yeah.
whatever you want to call it down. It's bad luck, but if it's curled up, it's good luck.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought
Yep,
elephants in general were good luck.
they are good luck, but it depends on how their snout is.
Oh,
Don't anybody give you
it's
one with
not a
it down.
snout. It's a trunk, Mary. The
Trunk, whatever.
snout is a piggy.
Snout, trunk,
The
whatever.
elephant has a
Anyway,
trunk.
well, yeah, a pig is a snout. Anyway, if don't anybody give you one that has with it down,
That's right.
or they
They're
give you
trying to
bad luck.
curse me, those little bastards. I'm allergic to all the bottom
I
feeders.
sent
I can't.
Boomer. I sent Boomer a link. Did I tell you that?
No, but that's okay. It's your StreamYard. You can send whoever you want.
Yeah, he's uh he's finishing up his D Live over there.
Mm-hmm.
I guess he forgot that we was on tonight. He said, "You know
If
how he is.
if we're still on by the time he comes, it's already 8:30. I have to
Yeah,
leave
it's
the
already
video on the
7:30.
elephant trunks. Yes.
Box turtles and salamanders. Yeah, snapping turtles here, man. Yeah, they take your finger off if they're very big.
Yeah,
I
Kelly
mean,
said
they don't
they
even
used
have
to
to be
play with
really
the
big
snapping
to do
turtle.
that.
Yeah, I don't eat anything that comes out of the water. Nothing. Gross. Just gross. Yeah. Um.
I'll eat fish, but it depends on what type of fish it is and where it come from.
Yeah. There's actually in the last 15 years, there's only been one fish that I would. And one time, I really, 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 I must have been low on iron. Um, I was so I needed to have a can of tuna fish. So I had a can of tuna one time in 15 years, and I had but I used to love Mediterranean or rata. So it would come
Ooh, I
from
got
the Mediterranean Sea, and it was called Mediterranean or rata, and that fish is the best tasting fillet because I'm allergic. I can't eat clams. I can't eat shrimp. I can't eat lobster. I can't eat any of that. I'm allergic to all the bottom dwellers or sand, the ones that are close to the sand. I can only eat fillets. Um,
me either, Diane. That's
my
my
son
big.
loves shark, but I won't eat any of that. But I will eat the Mediterranean or rata if I they're not popular here in the States, so it's not so easy to find. But yeah, when I find those babies, I get it. I don't care.
I agree with Diane. Diane, does she want anything? Eat fish if it smells fishy.
That's right.
And y'all might think that's stupid sounding because if it smells fishy because it's fish, but I know what she's saying. It's like a
Oh,
strong,
what's that?
overpowering. Yeah,
Right.
when
Well, they
it's like
say
that,
if a fish smells fishy, then that means it's bad. It's not
well,
fresh.
you can get a fish that's fresh fish and it still have a fish smell, and it's a strong. It can be a strong one or it can be a mild. But and then you can get a muddy catfish. I won't eat no muddy catfish either. Tasting. It depends on catfish. You have to put in cold water, ice water, and leave it overnight, and it will and with salt, and it will draw that muddy water taste out. There
Oh,
you guys go. In case you need to know that,
no, we
it
don't eat
draws
none of
muddy
that.
muddy
I
water
had
taste out of
I
it.
had this person comment on my video. I made like a vegetarian sandwich. And like, I don't know how you could call this vegetarian. It has cheese. And I'm like, um, vegetarians eat cheese, but if you're vegan, you can put vegan cheese on it. Like, you know. Um, I don't think people know
Right,
the
I
difference
know.
between vegans and vegetarians. So vegan eat nothing,
Right, right.
absolutely nothing that has to do with an animal. But vegetarians eat anything that you can get from an animal where you don't harm the animal. So cow's milk, you don't have to harm the animal. Chicken eggs, you don't have to harm the animal. And you know, so I'll eat cheese and milk. Um, so that's the only thing I think I eat from animals. Cheese, like you know.
Uh,
Um, mm, so yogurt, that kind of thing, it's okay because you don't have to kill the animal to have cheese, milk, yogurt, dairy. You know, so I eat dairy as a vegetarian. That's the difference between a vegetarian and a vegan. Vegetarians eat dairy. They just don't eat anything that the animal will have to be killed for. Like, I got this soup. My sister gave me this soup. She's like, it's vegetarian soup, right? She because I can't it has soy, but she obviously didn't look at it because not only did it have soy, when I looked at the ingredients, it had chicken fat. It's a supposedly vegetarian soup, but it has chicken fat. So I don't eat that. So I made it for my son. He eats it. Like, I don't like that. It tastes funny. I'm like, that's because you got so used to not eating meat.
Kelly.
Then anything with
Kelly.
like chicken fat in it, he's like, what the fuck is this?
Kelly's cracking me up. Uh, but yeah, Black, I know they have to take the mud vein out. I agree with that, but sometimes they still have that muddy taste to them. And like I said, the bigger the catfish is, the more likely it's got a mud taste to it. And
Mm.
you have to, if you put it in that water and leave it in there overnight in the refrigerator, it will take that taste out as much as it'll take out a big part of it. It may not take all of it, but it'll take a big part of it, at least where you can stand to eat it. Uh, I mean, some people don't mind that, but
Chicken
I
liposuction.
I don't like it,
Kelly!
and I fry mine in not beer batter, but I have. But have you ever dipped it in salsa and then dipped it into breadcrumbs and then dipped it? Are you dipping in breadcrumbs, dipping in salsa, any kind of salsa that you want, and then re-dip it in the breadcrumbs and then fry it? It gives it, yeah, it gives you a good flavor to it. It's good that way. Now I've done it that way, and I've done it just regular frying it, and egg and breadcrumb and whatever kind of crumb you put. Not breadcrumb, but cornmeal. Shit, I don't know why I said breadcrumb.
You know
Seasoned
what I love to
cornmeal,
do with my fish fillets is to bread it in potato flakes.
but you got to put a little flour in with it.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, you can do potato flakes.
Oh,
I do pork chops that way. Like I'll take pork chops and I'll dip it in an egg wash, and then I'll dip it in potato flakes, season them up real good, and I put them on a buttered sheet pan. Put them in the oven, let them cook, and then they brown on the one side and flip them over. Let them brown on the other side real good. They get that crisp potato cover on it. They're good.
wow. You know what? Now that you said it, I'm like, I normally would only have that on fish, but now that you said that, I'm wondering if I could bread other things with my potato flakes, like my
Yeah, they're good.
veggie
It's good. Like
burgers and stuff.
you
Yeah.
take a
Oh,
pork cutlet or anything like that and do it that way. Yeah, that's how we. That's how I do pork cutlets. I've done that forever. We get shake and bake too, but I'd rather use potato flakes.
oh yeah. And I
Potato
mean, I've
flakes
used cornmeal. I
gives
I
better
use
flavor, I think.
I've used to make like my bean patties. I've used if I don't have anything in the house, I take the Cheerios and I blend those up and I freaking put that on. I don't care what I use for breading.
Anything that you have to what up in order to choke it down? Nope. I don't know what she's saying.
Anything you have to, add all this stuff to in order to choke it down, she's not happy. Like you,
Yeah, well, yeah.
100 seasoning.
But I'm just saying, salsa breading is really good on fish. I mean, the fish you don't want it. I mean, you can flavor it. I mean, like you flavor anything else.
Yeah.
Hush puppies are a necessity. I 100% agree with that. Salmon is I don't care for salmon, but
I no,
well, to
never.
tell you the truth, I've never tried it. I
Oh,
can't
I've
get
tried it.
past
It's
the
disgusting.
I can't get past the smell of it. My brother absolutely loves it. He said it's good for your health, and they say it is good for your health. But um, now I can make. They say I make a mean salmon patty. I don't know, but I mean I've cooked them before for
No.
like Frank likes them. My ex husband he liked them, and and stuff, and but I didn't eat them. They loved them.
Mm-mm, me never. I think they made me taste salmon once. I'm like, this is disgusting. It tastes. If you have to eat fish and it tastes like fish, like Kelly said, I don't like it. If or Diane said, if it tastes like fish, I don't like it. If it smells like fish, I don't like it. That's why I like the Mediterranean orata. It doesn't smell like fish, and it sure as hell don't taste like fish. You just got to make sure the store takes off both sides of the skin for you, and then you won't even know it's fish. Or hush
Kelly,
puppies, a
yes,
type of shoe.
there is
Hush
hush
puppies were
puppies or orthopedic
actually
shoes. But hush puppies are corn they're a cornbread ball with they have like minced onion in them or like chopped up green onion you put in them. They're really good and you deep fry them. Oh my God, they're really good. Make them buttermilk ones. Oh, with some green onion in them. Oh my God, they're great.
but the hush puppies weren't orthopedic shoes. They were for young kids who were just starting to walk. It was like you would get hush puppies as the first kid shoe because they were good for their legs
Yeah, when
and
they first started out, yep, that's
yeah,
right.
that's what those were.
But they do have them in the adult sizes like now, orthopedic shoes and hush puppies they do. Because it's my foot doctor has them on a display out in his waiting area. He's got them along with some other brands. New Balance is big for feet wear. The higher the number, the better the shoe. Um, you know how New Balance comes with a number like 450 or 457 or 650 or whatever. The higher the number, the better the shoe is for your, I guess,
Oh
your
yeah, yeah.
overall walking. Yeah,
I never saw
overall, and the doctor can tell you
adult.
what number you need to have or be in.
Yeah, I never saw the adult hush puppies, but I did from both my kids go to the special store, spend like I don't know what they were, 50, $100. They were expensive for their first pair of shoes. They were a little bigger, but still good that they can walk in them. They would size them. They had a specialist,
Yes, Diane, I remember them shoes. Go ahead,
and
I'm
they
sorry.
would yeah, so that they can, especially my daughter, because my daughter was bow-legged. He was young, so my son no, but I still got him those first pair of shoes for hush puppies, and then after that it was fuck that shit. I'm gonna spend another $50, you know. But when they first started walking, those were on cement because around the house it didn't matter. Yeah.
Does anybody here make hush puppies for when you fry fish? Do you make your own hush puppies?
No,
You can
but that
use a
sounded delicious, and I'm gonna look up a recipe and see if I'm gonna
you
do it.
can do a use a melon baller to make instead of it. You can use a ice cream scoop's too big. So you take a melon baller and you make the batter is a little thick. You make the batter thick. If you look up a recipe, you'll find that out.
Yeah.
And but you take a melon baller and scoop them up in a bowl and just drop them in oil. They're great. Or you can put them in your fryer, however you want to do that. But nah, they're so good. They make you want to slap your mama. Not literally, because my mama slaps back. She slap you in death and in life. She slap you back to death. Yeah, you don't want to slap my mama. Trust me. Ask Christina
Oh no, we're not doing that.
that. She meant my mama.
She was yelling at Mary, and I was trying to give Mary the message, and because she was so hyper and mad and whatever, she had me yelling, like she was yelling in my kitchen, so I was yelling back
So,
at
so
Mary, and I was
Christina
like,
was
wait,
yelling at
yeah, we
me.
gotta stop this. I'm screaming at
Yeah, she was
Mary.
yelling at me. I'm like, wait a minute. She said,
I
well, your
said,
mom's yelling at me.
yeah. I was like, she's yelling at me, got me nervous. I yelled at you. Sorry. But it was like I could feel her like upset or whatever. So it like, and I was yelling, and I'm like, wait a minute now. And then I was like, Mary, she's stamping around my kitchen like this. No.
Yep, that'd be
It
her.
continued after the live stream. Like literally, I was screaming at Mary. It was terrible.
Oh, really, James? Yeah, I'm not surprised. Just delivering the message, right? I know. Don't shoot the messenger.
Don't shoot that messenger.
I wasn't shooting her, but dang, she let me have it. I know that.
Mm-hmm. And like I said, I didn't even realize until all of a sudden I was like, wait the hell a minute, I'm screaming. Like, you know.
She didn't realize she's sitting there hollering at me.
Yeah.
Poor Mary sitting over here hiding in the corner.
And then she kept trying to change the subject, and her mother was getting so mad.
Oh yeah, she hates that. She always hated that.
So mad. Like, literally, she was like, you tell her to stop. I'm not talking about that. I was like, holy crap.
Yeah, my mom. I love my mama. I miss her every day. I'll see her sometime or another. Yeah, Black. Yeah, yeah. I can see that. I can see her. I can see your mom doing that. I can see any mom doing that. Slap your mama wearing a hush
I
puppies.
learned to keep short hair. That's right.
Kelly stuck on the hush puppies. Yes, James, I agree with that. She did love me. She still does. It was, moms and mama and daddies that love their children. It's a love that's unconditional. It's a
That's
love that it's hard to explain. My love I have for my children is beyond anything in this world, except for God. And I would do anything for my kids if I could. And I I don't know how to explain it any more than that, you know. And your grandkids is worse.
Mhm.
I mean, it's just, I mean, literally would do anything for my grandson. His little sweet face that I would just want to pinch off. I always want to grab his little cheeks and squeeze them. Diana says she loves our laugh.
That was my mom and dad in your living room last night. Yeah.
Yeah, my mom was my best friend too. You know, I didn't, there wasn't nothing that I really didn't not tell her, except for the fact this right here. I didn't tell her about my spirituality side, but she never talked about hers either. And, you know, and the reason why I knew that she was like that is because I picked up on small things like, my gut tells me you don't need to do blah, 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 or you can't do that. I'm telling you that you can't go because something's going to happen.
Yeah.
She was 100% right every time she said anything like that. Anytime she was 100% right. So, I mean, in that, you know, I picked up on small things, you know, like she would say, like, I don't know, like she would know stuff about people that sitting in a room that you're in a room with that you don't even, you know, that we didn't even talk to, people we didn't know. But she would say, you know, like, that man needs to go get his health checked. You know, she'd be sitting there just talking up a storm her, like, you know, like she knows, but I mean, it's just, she knew things. I'm just saying, you know, I mean, so I knew that she was gifted. And, you know, maybe she didn't really realize what it was. And maybe she just figured it was just the way she was supposed to be or whatever. Um, Now we have our witch side is that side, but I don't think that they were ever taught that way.
Really,
I
Kelly?
think my grandmother did know, and I think that she used a lot of herbs and stuff, and that's where a lot of the remedies that comes in that my mom used to use, uh, like the bacon for take that for instance, or other stuff they used to get rid of colds that we had, and the cloves and the stuff that they would use for our toothaches and just, you know, stuff like that. Stuff that's kind of common that people know about, but it's still the old way of doing things, you know. I mean, and it's all natural stuff. So in that, you know, I don't know that she knew. I don't know if she knew about the witches being on this side of the family or that they were witches of any kind. I don't know if she knew that or not. Did
Right.
she ever tell me anything about it? No, but I just know. So maybe she just knew too, and just she was like me and didn't talk about it until, you know, or maybe she didn't talk about it at all, and I'm the one that has. So I don't know, you know. I know the rest of my family don't talk about it a whole lot. I'm gonna tell you that.
Right.
Or there's very few that even acknowledge it. Um, that even acknowledge that it's a possibility, you know. But they all had that intuition. I remember my aunt telling me that, you know, telling saying things, you know, about stuff, and even the one that's living still. And she grew up going to church, living, you know, taking her kids to church. She was Sunday school teacher, the whole 9 yards, but yet she still knew things and had seen things and all that. I mean, you know, she didn't deny it, but she didn't go out of her way to, you know, to do any of it either. So I'm just saying, you know, it is what it is. You know, you learn I stuff with your family, you just kind of know. I just know. My father knew what he had. He used to read regular playing cards, tea leaves, palms, and even feet. Black. I seen somebody use playing cards and read them. It was different. I remember that.
I actually was reading about how to read playing cards as tarot, and I might do that one week.
Kelly, I agree with that. She said because they are literally a part of you. When you hear of people's personalities change
Yeah,
when they get an organ transplant, there is something about the energetic tissue that grew of that. Yeah, it grew that come through with them. Um, I agree because the piece, if you really think about it, there's got to be some residual energy there from the person that you received it from.
right.
So, I mean, it's not part of their soul or anything like that because your soul stays intact, but it's can be residual energy of their how they are. So naturally, it combines in with yours. So I can see a personality change. I can see you add something to your life or, you know, a piece of them, you've added a piece of them to your life. So yeah, I can understand that. I get what you're saying, Kelly. I 100% get what you're saying. That was my mom's dad that was in your living room last night. Are you talking about the guy I explained to you, Kelly?
Ow! Yes.
Well, he wasn't in my living room. He was actually, I mean, he might have been, but he popped in my head. I mean, he showed me himself in my head. Kelly, if you want to come up, I'll send you a link. Or Christina have to because I don't have you. That's why mothers say it's like a piece of your heart walking out around outside of your body. I understand that. My great grandmother was a gypsy. Yeah, um, I was actually the midwife that was uh, when my mom was born. She was gypsy. I guess, she was gypsy that she delivered my aunt that's still living, and my mom, and I guess my other aunt too. But anyway, uh, as far as I know of, that um, we got that part of our family's kind of gypsy. My mother was strictly. Let me tell you what, because she liked, how the gypsy women dress with the skirts and the chain belts and all that.
Yeah.
I got a picture somewhere of my mom wearing. She loved outfits like that, and she was going on vacation and to California with my other aunts and stuff, and then they were going to Arkansas after that. She bought these skirts and she had these belts and they were chain belts and she had these just I mean she looked the part. Had off the shoulder shirt, top on with the skirt. I mean, my mother was a beautiful woman, and she dressed like she had $1 million. you would think she had money. Always poor as dirt. But she looked the part, let me tell you. Yeah, that's yeah, Scott. That's a good way of saying that. Imprinted. Yeah, the body part. Yeah, right. Black. It's like we leave a residual energy. Yep, we don't have to die to leave our energy. I agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Kelly. I mean, it depends on what part they get. Yeah, and it depends on how much of that person is left in that part. You know what I mean? You know, I've seen not seen it happen, but I've heard it. I've heard about it happening about people doing that. Not tonight, but I will sometime. Well, you got an open invitation, okay, Kelly? I don't know about Christina saying that, but I'm saying it.
Oh yeah, no, of course. Anybody we know can.
Well, Boomer gonna guess he gonna stay over there on D Live,
Yeah,
which is fine. But I know I'm gonna have to get off here pretty soon.
yeah.
I gotta
That's
get
right. We gotta.
we gotta get something for supper going and all that.
We're trying to conserve our go live time, so we could get some free. We could get some everything going on.
Well, I mean, we can use as many as we want right now, but so but still, I don't. We don't want to stay on here for hours and hours.
No, Mary's getting too old for that, guys.
What?
I said, no, Mary's getting too old for that, guys.
Right?
I'm gonna just make her the old one, okay? There. No, but I've been
Oh, well, Kelly.
exhausted. I
Yeah,
need
I've always knew that. Yeah, I agree with you on that. There's
look
more
at the
meat suits than them just flesh.
look at the
Well,
bags.
I agree. There's more to it, and I agree with the fact. Isn't it amazing how God come up with the human body?
Oh
How
yeah,
the blood flows through the body, which is the blood of Him, and He gives us life, and through the air and how we breathe, and it just boggles the mind how He figured out how to do all that and make us. So I mean, I just I don't know. I don't know what to say about that. Except like like we were saying, residual energy can be left on anything,
yeah.
and I would say that's what happens. Many practices have ways to use their personal energy to infuse items like candles, crystals, and such.
Well, that's why we give the spirit some
He's
food and stuff, right?
Diane. He was, yes, but he is my ex-husband. But we're still together. We've been together. It's a long story on why we divorced. It was me that got the divorce, and but had nothing to do with him or anything like that. Just well, it did have to do with him, but not indirectly. He didn't do
Right.
anything wrong. I'm gonna put it to you like that. I didn't do anything wrong. So, all right, Scott, I agree with that. connection to her mom's, the connection to how mom's connection to their children is more than just love. I don't know how to explain deeper than love. Right, Kelly? I agree with that. I don't know. I think it's because you brought a person into the world. I mean, you literally made that person. Like a person growed inside of you till time to be born, and it's just they're a part of you. I mean, the father is a maybe, and the mother is for sure. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it just runs so deep that I'm sure that Christina knows what we're talking about too.
Mm-hmm.
It's a love that I don't care how mad you get at your kids. Like Christina knows what I'm saying, and how
Oh
bad you
yeah,
get at your
because
kids, and
I
how
could
much.
have killed my daughter at some point.
Right, right. But it's just you just and all that you just want to run up and hug them too. You
Yeah.
know, you. It's like Christina when her daughter was in. You know, she wanted to see her daughter, her grandson. You know, I mean, it's like she's going to her wedding in February,
Yeah.
and you love them so much that you would lay down and die for them. I would. If my kids needed my life, they could have it. If that's what they needed, they could have it. And I mean, I'm sure that there's a that other mothers know what I'm saying.
Yep.
Black says a psychic connection. I don't know if it's that or if it's. I mean, yes. Um, Me and my mom had a connection, but it's just I don't know. It's just I don't even know how to explain it. It's just something you can't explain. You
Yeah.
can try to explain it, just ain't. There's just nothing. I don't know.
I saw my daughter born right in front. Yep. Well, that's what it is. Even people, and I mean fathers too, like good fathers feel that same way. Like there's no way, anything's gonna happen to this kid.
Yep, I agree. Good night, James.
Good night, James. You got work tomorrow. We'll see you in the morning. In the morning, yeah. Like I'm
Good
gonna be
night,
at your
Scott.
house. You know what I mean. We'll see you.
Uh, oh, I don't know. Scott said he's getting off her or what? Uh,
James. Yep. I think it's time for all of us to get off of here and go to bed. I was saying, like Mary was talking, but I was showing them my eyes. Like I have not been sleeping well, and I look like death becomes.
you know, like
Like,
traveling when you're sleeping.
I don't know. Like I usually like even yesterday. I was 5 hours on here. By the time I got off, ate something, did a like take 5 minutes to myself. Then I a few text me. I tried to message. Then I did my crossover. Then I put a movie on for the kids. I laid down thinking, hey, I'm going to go to sleep. Hey, Jacob, how are you, sweetheart? I hope you're well. Both hands and toes. Thank you so much for coming in, Jacob. I miss you. I never
Hi,
catch you on
Jacob.
Sunday. It's like, I don't know. I don't get any notifications. Are you still going live on Sundays or? Yeah, we were just heading off of here. I haven't done live in a few months. Oh, okay. Still, I feel like it's been longer than that. But yeah, Jacob has great videos, guys, on crystals. He like shapes them and everything, and then he'll tell you about them while he's shaping them. They're really good. I have 30 plus gems ready, so I could start again.
Drop
Oh, there
your
you
link,
go.
Jacob. Drop your link to your channel in the chat.
I think almost everybody's blue, so they should be able to click on Jacob, get right over to his channel.
Oh yeah, they probably just push on his thing and
I think so. I'm not going to sleep till another 5 hours. Do you work like during a different time of the day? Like, and that's why you could stay up. Yes, we'll wave to Jacob. There you go. I gotta work at 6 a.m. Oh, are you in a different spot where, like, how long does it take when you do crossovers? Okay, so uh, I I put something for them to eat. I make them coffee. Hiya. Because I have an extra coffee, but I make them something like so they have a send off, right? Then we listen to some music so the kiddos get in, they eat. We listen to music. They draw some pictures for me. I yap with them. I write down anybody who wants to talk, what they want to say, or whatever. And then it takes us about 5 minutes after that, once I turn on the spirit box, cross everybody, and then I make sure everybody's gone. Whoever wasn't sure whether they'll go to the Grove or stay here, we make that decision. So all in all, about an hour. It used to take way longer. We got it down, but still, by the time you put something out for them, okay, they light the candle, I set everything up, play the music, put the app on for them to draw pictures. Okay, who wants to talk? Let me write down everything. Like, it takes a hop. You know. Oh, thank you, Kim, for putting out Jacob's link. Thank you so much. I don't sleep much. Oh, I thought maybe you were in a place where where the time, 'cause right now it's 9 o'clock here. 9, 10, 10 to 11, 11 to 12, 1, 2 to 3. That'd be 3 in the morning. 3 to 4, 4 to 5, 5 to 6. That means you would have slept 3 hours. I at least need 4 hours. What's my favorite gem? Actually, you have turned me on. What are you doing with that chocolate gemstone that looks like the universe? Are you almost done with that one? I'm dying to see that one done. It's so pretty. It's like a chocolate stone it looks like when he holds it up, it looks like it has the universe in it. Ever since you showed me that stone, I've been dying to get one. I don't even remember what it is, Jacob. You have to message me. You have to leave a comment on one of the videos. This is the stone. I think it's like a chocolate opal or something, isn't it? It is a chocolate opal. You planning on it this year to finish it? Chocolate opal with blue and red. Yeah. When he held it up and it looks like it has little star dots in it. They really look like it was like it was so
Really
gorgeous.
have those fucking windows open. Excuse my language.
Yes.
I forgot I was on here. I was
That's
sitting here
okay.
just listening.
Yeah, chocolate opal. Like that was gorgeous. But um gemstone in general. I love purple, so probably amethyst, but I really like they have this new thing, Jacob. You can't shine them up though, but they're like quartz. It looks like they're crystallized. It looks like they're frozen. Oh my god, those are gorgeous. Gorgeous. No, I don't do one at a time. I have 500 each time, sometimes more. Like yesterday, we had 586, but try to stay under 600 now. So I do it 4 days a week around 500. And we don't do it
Christina, I'm
individually.
gonna.
It's like we open the door and it's not me personally because I can't see the
I'm gonna
kiddos,
drop
hustle
down the
them
chat.
through to the light and go, okay, everybody's in, finished, bye.
I'm gonna drop down the chat.
What happened?
Nothing. I just. I'm getting. Yeah.
She's getting slap happy.
It's getting that time that I need to. Yeah.
Yep. Well, Mary's going
So.
to say goodnight. I am going to say goodnight too. And
Good night, everybody.
we love you
Take care.
guys. And
Have a
there's,
good night.
yeah, there's no outro. There's just a screen. So, you know, I can't sing to you or anything.
Christina, you can hit me on Messenger if you want. But I gotta take some medicine and get.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, I'm glad you came by. We are
All
live.
right.
Uh, thank you, Mary. Good. Jacob, we do card readings every Wednesday from 6 30 around 6:30 Eastern Standard Time to like 9:10. And then we're live Thursdays, so Wednesday and Thursdays. Thursdays we do spiritual learning, but we kind of got off the subject today. And talked about everything, which was fun, like nostalgia talk. So this is like chitty chat, spiritual learning kind of deal. This is also from 6 p.m. Standard Time to whatever time we finish. So hopefully you could drop by again. Alrighty, guys. Let's find what do we got here? We have an end screen. There we go. We have an end stream and we might even have some music. There you go. Thank you guys all for coming. And we will see you next week on Wednesday for all our card readings.